Welcome back to Cool Clubs Reviews. This is the Callaway Paradym X, the bigger version.
Yep, this is another sister to the Paradym, so pretty clean looking, traditional shape. Not a huge top line, but this is geared for the mid-die handicap. But it doesn't look like a, traditional funny looking game improvement. Strange thing. It's very traditional looking.
They tick a few boxes in terms of the story, right? So a little bit bigger, confidence inspiring. Then you get the forged, and this weird thing in people's heads nowadays. I must have a forged club, so I think that just gets them over the line with that.
Yep.
And then I guess what our intention is with this is let's test it, let's figure out what the robot does, and then we try and categorize that using our fitter experience. Let's jump to the numbers. Let's look at the graph. We've only put this one in the game improvement section, so 80 miles an hour, missing it all over the face.
Right. This certainly could be for a better player as well.
Yeah. And I guess that's what we see. It's so straight, in terms of the miss hits.
Yeah, definitely keeps it linear. It's just balls aren't going right or left when you miss hit it off center. That's for sure.
So that gave it some points in the game improvement.
Yep.
I think people are going to look at this graph and be like, well, how did it score pretty high, even though it's really, top to bottom looks bad? But it's got distance, right?
Yeah, it's got some fair amount of distance. And the thing interesting on this is, in the game improvement category for sure, it's got one of the highest stopping powers of anything.
So that really does push it above a lot of the other irons.
And for, kind of mid-handicaps that don't have struggle trying to stop greens and hold greens, and depending on what kind of course they're playing and stuff, if that's really necessary, a lot of forced carries, water and stuff, this is a really good golf club for that.
Lots of beginner golfers rate themselves on just getting the ball airborne.
Right.
So to have 280 on the spin launch, which we know is pushing to our high end, I think the visual for players when they're seeing their ball flight here and watching the ball maybe spin a little bit on the green is going to be kind of a bit of a wow factor for them.
Yeah, what's really good about this club is it gets up in the air quick and it stops relatively fast. Yeah. For a game improvement club that looks relatively traditional, it's pretty good all around that way.
So category-wise, I guess we're going to go at least mid-handicap, maybe starting it around the 10 mark.
Yeah. Probably 10 handicap, even maybe a little lower if you actually want some distance and want to be able to stop it still.
Yeah.
But up to 18, 20 handicap, no problem.
Yeah.
For this thing. Yeah.
That's it. It's pushing all the way into that beginner golfer level almost, even though it's a very high.
And it looks traditional. It looks really clean and expensive and just good looking club.
Yeah, that will get a lot of people over the line, right?
Yep. It's a lot, right? So it's a ton of tungsten on the bottom they moved around in here. So they're able to keep some spin up. Even with the stronger lofts, which, most of them don't. Stopping power 3.8 on a game improvement club, I think is the highest we've got.
I agree. I was thinking back through it. I think that's very, very impressive.
So that must be specifically what they're trying to get this club to do.
Yeah, cool. Perfect. Thank you very much.